Hi, how are you? I hope everyone is fine. I thought today would be the day that I would hollow out the head that I worked on last week. He's leather hard, so firm enough that the shell will support itself when I take it apart. And I am prepped in my area. I have a piece of foam here for laying down the sections when I'm working on them. Plastic to cover them up, to keep them damp, spray bottle, and I have a nice collection of tools over here too that you might want to see. These are the kinds of tools that I like to use. You know, I have lots of hollowing out tools already, and so all of these guys in their different shapes and sizes will be super helpful. And then a few little ones, of course, as well. Love this diamond tools loop tool for getting in there, and some other loop tools. You guys, I know, love this. You know I love this mud tool trimming tools as well. And my collection of coconut shells. They're wonderful for hollowing out. You know, I do a lot of hollowing out in my work. Most of my work starts solid. So I have collected some tools over the years that I really like. And tape measure, scoring tool. So since I know, I wrote on here when I started this piece the dimensions of the pipes or the lengths of the pipe, so I can recall what the armature is like inside. And then I bisected so I know that the pipe lies right in the center of my friend here. So I'm going to start by truffinating him, or lopping off the top of his head. I'm going to line this up right above his brow. And I'm pretty much going to go straight back, and there we go, because I didn't want to run into that pipe, right? So this piece should just come right off, right? And I can start on this one by hollowing this part. All right, I covered the top of the head with some plastic, let it rest for a little bit while I'm working on this. I'm going to see how far down I can get with my loop tool, and if I need to make some other cuts, I'll do that. Just to give myself some guidance, I'm going to draw a line, you know, about 1/2 inch around the perimeter here, just like when you're trimming a pot. And then hope my tools are nice and sharp. I haven't actually sharpened them for a while. I've got a bucket down here on the floor, by the way, to catch all the stuff that I'm carving out. I think too, you know, if you're working ergonomically, I'm having to reach up a little bit, which maybe is diminishing how much force I can use. So possibly I should lower him. I will do that if I feel like I'm getting need to. If I start grunting uncontrollably like that, then perhaps I will lower him. But I debated if I should do this yesterday or today, and I think I probably could have done it yesterday, but he still seemed kind of damp yesterday, so I left him uncovered overnight. Of course, the studio is about 100 degrees. It's 102 outside. I don't have air conditioning on in here, so it's not 100 degrees in here, but it is pretty warm. So the clay is obviously dried out a fair amount. But the good thing about this is that I'm not just, as much as I'm holding on really quite firmly to the outside, I'm not distorting it at all. So there's always advantages and disadvantages. That's life, though. Indeed, and my clay bucket is getting really full. Okay, remember there's an angled pipe in here. So sometimes you can take it apart little by little and then lift the head off I like to, wrap paper or something around the pipes so they take a little space, especially foam, which I didn't do this time, but I got the first section of pipe out. The next piece that's down there is the angled pipe. And I think, so I'm gonna move now for the neck. So with this guy, I'm gonna take the wire. Before I do that, though, of course, I'm gonna since I've hollowed out the inside of here, I'm gonna reattach the top of the head. Okay, score that up. Find the top of the head where it's been resting in plastic. And I'm gonna re-score that. I'm just using water to join the two. Okay, I'm just gonna, better get the right side up. All right, there we go. Pop that back together. Now, there's that seam there, but obviously I probably should get rid of, but I'm always a process person, and I think it's sort of interesting to have that seam there to speak about what happened to him. To me, it gives him some history and some mystery, and I'm not convinced I will smooth that out completely. However, now it's time for me to lop him off here. And this is a little trickier because that pipe is in there, remember? So I'm going to have to lop him off. Now, hopefully, the head will lift right off. I made a mark where that elbow joint was, so I should be able to just like wiggle him a little bit and then pull him back. And there he goes. So I'll put him down nicely. I'm just going to spritz him a little. Not on the outside, but in the inside where I'm going to have to do a little bit of hollowing. And then I'm going to cover him in plastic, just the head. Now, this top joint, I should be able to unscrew that. Add that to my collection of galvanized pipes over here. And get my wire out of there. Loved, oh good, thank goodness. See, I can unscrew this one too. That's really the advantage to having these pieces that screw or unscrew. Okay. And then, just like the first section, I'm going to work on hollowing this too, okay? All right, so I've got most of the neck hollowed out, and I was hoping that that center, elbow joint wouldn't be so close to the neck that I would be able to unscrew that and go down deeper, but I can't. So I'm going to have to improvise a little bit. So I'm going to take my wire tool, my wire slicer. Okay, I'm going to slide it underneath the body. And I'm just going to come straight up alongside the post. So I'm going to have two halves of my shoulders. Lovely. I pull this side off. And I'm going to pop them under my plastic with the head. No need to let it dry any more than necessary. And now I'm just going to take my own sweet time and I'm going to hollow this out, okay? All right, so I've got the pieces hollowed out, right? Did I? I hope I didn't forget one. Okay, so pop this here. I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna spritz it. I'm gonna score the edges. Score the edges. I think the heat must be getting to me. All right, score the edges. Spritzy, spritzy. So I mentioned in the email that I'm going to continue to do videos and Zooms during the summer, which is kind of studio practice stuff. I'll work on my work. If anyone wants to join me, I'm going to keep on doing Wednesday nights. I'll let you know if there's any change to that. So anyone is welcome to join me who feels like having a little semi-structured studio time. I think it might be kind of fun. And I thought I might share some art books that I like and just see what we can do to kind of keep ourselves active, artistically, culturally, socially connected and engaged. All right, now let me get the inside of this seam put together too. Okay. Now, I am going to drop some water on that thing. There we go. I'm just going to, this head here, you know, I'd hollowed most of it out, but I missed a little bit right here at the neck. So I'm just going to take my lovely Dolan Tools knife, curved knife, and just get the rest of that clay out of there. Do you want to leave enough contact? This is not going to fall over, right? Still is a heavy head, so human heads are heavy. Just get the rest of that out of there. There we go. Foramen magnum, right? Where our spines go up into our skulls. Isn't that funny? You know, you think of your spine in the back of your head, but the spine goes up right through the middle of your skull. So that head of ours is just kind of bouncing around. Okay, score, score, score. Spritz, spritz, spritz. All right, friends. 1, 2, 3. Pop them on. Pop them on. I guess now if I wanted to turn his head, I could. Turn towards you. Hello, how are you today? Alrighty, let's get them lined up so we have better adhesion. I'm just gonna muscle them down in there a little bit. Okay, smooth that around. There we go. Just like the other piece, you know, I really made these necks too long. I was thinking Modigliani and, you know, gorgeous attenuated swan necks. My own aesthetic going on. His ear needs some work too, but I think I did mention, of course I mentioned, yeah, that, you know, I really think it's a great idea to do the hollowing out before the entire piece is done, because, you know, what happens if I had bumped this ear during my carving, which I didn't, but, you know, if I had, now would be the time that I could do sort of fine tune this thing, right? Would that make sense? So, because inevitably, you know, when you attach him, there's going to be some kind of a rupture that needs to be healed. And depending on how careful your work is, I mean, how detailed it is, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, my work is sort of more textured, and I like process, I like material, I like clay to look like clay. So I'm not terribly worried about the lumps and bumps, but I am not at all interested in this dreadful shoulder thing. I didn't work on the shoulder at all. I wasn't really thinking about it, and I let it dry too much. So I am looking at this, gonna lock this guy off here. So he's really just kind of a random head that maybe I could stick onto some other piece if I wanted to. We'll have to see. Anyway, he is much lighter, much hollower than he was before. And I think he'll last through the firing. Okay, and I will report back if there's any changes. And I hope everyone is having a good day. And please check in on Wednesday night's class, okay? Take it easy. Bye.